Happy Easter, Payne County. I know what you're saying.
Easter's over,
Father
isn't it?
O'Brien, Easter was last week. Well, Easter is 50 days long.
50.
If you're a Catholic.
Wow.
I'm Father Brian O'Brien, the pastor of St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I'm here with Father Kerry Wakulich, who is the pastor of St. John Catholic Student Center. Coming up on the end of the year, Father. Are you ready?
Am I allowed to talk? Or are you just going to introduce me?
I just asked you a question.
Oh, did you really?
Are you ready for the end of the year?
I am not sure.
It's coming.
It's going to happen whether I wanted to.
May 11th.
Yeah.
OSU.
Saturday, May 11th.
Woo, that's soon.
That is real soon. And then there's Sunday masses, and then I'm taking students on a pilgrimage.
Yeah.
Belgium, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Germany, and France, all in that little zone up there. We're doing the Marian apparitions of Benu. You ever heard of the Marian apparitions? There's 2 approved Marian apparitions in Belgium.
The first time I heard about it was when you told me about it like a month ago.
And the Eucharistic miracle in Hasset.
Oh.
And then we're going to go to Orval Monastery, visit the Maginot Line in France.
Real places?
I think some of them I just made up.
Oh.
Louvain.
Oh, Louvain.
I'm going to see our boy Damien. Damien Amalekai. Booyah.
Fist bump. Boom.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we're going to go there. We're going to be.
So you have an eventful few weeks here.
10
with
days.
The end of school and all that comes with it. The stress of finals and students freaking out.
It's going to be fun.
What happens? Does everyone at the end of the year, does everyone break up?
They should.
I think we should. I don't think we should see each other over the summer. Or, okay, he's a senior, she's a junior. He's like, okay, I'm out of here.
That usually doesn't
Peace
happen.
out.
There's FaceTime and road trips now, and I think people stay. I don't know if they break up.
Well, I just want to do God's will.
No, but procrastination does show up. The old trap of, if I wait till the last minute, it only takes a minute. It doesn't work.
That's so good. Yeah, it's a great time of year here in Stillwater. The weather is turning nice, and it's green, and the end of school, graduation coming up. We have at the parish, we have First Communion. Next week.
I had my very first communicants. What was that, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Was that 3 years ago? And the wee little children, they were so adorable in their
now they're
little
in 5th grade and awkward.
Gloves and dresses, and now they're in 5th grade.
You can come. Do you want to come?
I'll pass. I won't be here.
Gosh.
When is it?
Why
When's
do
your first communion?
Kids. Wow.
When is your first communion?
Gosh. It's May 4th and 5th.
Oh, okay, May 4th and 5th. Are they going to throw a party like Michael Corleone in with his first and the Godfather with his first communion party when the governor shows up or senator shows up that they're planning to ruin his career? I don't think we'll have any
senators at ours, but Jesus will be there and it'll be awesome. So yeah, we're the 4th and 5th, and then we have a confirmation coming up the next Thursday.
High school confirmation.
High school confirmation, yeah, and then what else? Well, graduation. We're going to do a men's night. That's not till June, though. June 7th, men's night. Catholic Man Show.
Are you going to invite me?
Catholic Man Show's coming back. June 7th, are you here? You should come.
I'm going to check my calendar.
All men of Payne County, June 7th, the Catholic Man Show.
What day is that?
It's a Friday night.
Friday night. I think I have a wedding at your church.
Well, then.
I think I have a rehearsal.
Okay.
I might as well stop on by.
And there it is. That's a lot. We got a lot of weddings coming up.
I have 5 weddings back to back to back at your church.
In one day?
I wish they were all in one day, but they're in 4 weekends.
Oh, my. Yeah. Well, you can do it.
I've got enough energy.
You can do it.
Thanks.
I believe in you.
I'm glad you've given me a boost of confidence.
So it's Easter, which is amazing. We made it through Lent. We made it through Holy Week. My goodness, man!
I loved Holy Week.
Holy Week was. I don't know how we did that.
It's awesome. I love Holy Week.
No, I love it. It was just insane.
You know what? One of the things I really enjoy about Holy Week is at the end of Holy Week when I realize all the mistakes I made during Holy Week.
Well, like during the liturgy.
Yeah,
we had this conversation yesterday. We're like, oh man. We listened to this. There's a great podcast out there. It's called The Liturgy Guys.
Oh, they're awesome.
And if you're into Catholic liturgy, and anyway, they do a really good job. These guys from the Liturgical Institute in Chicago, and they did a whole episode, which has been out for it's 2 years old.
Yeah,
probably should have listened to it before Holy Week.
Oh, why would I do that?
Because they were pointing out numerous things, and you text me and you're like,
This fire's supposed to be going?
I don't think we're supposed to do this. And I was like, no, we did that too. Anyway.
Yeah.
We'll correct and move on because God is merciful.
Oh, it is Divine Mercy Sunday.
It is, yes, indeed.
Oh, I love
Sunday,
Divine Mercy Sunday.
The 28th. Was that today? I don't know. Anyway, Divine Mercy Sunday is the second Sunday of Easter. So I was thinking, I added it all up, and during Holy Week, between me and you, drum roll.
Wait. What are we drum rolling for? Between me and you,
heard
what?
20 hours of confessions.
In our little town?
Just me and you.
Whoa.
I know.
That's a lot of soul cleaning.
You did that 3-hour Holy Thursday night marathon.
Oh, yeah. I used to do that all night confession.
Yeah.
And then I realized it's good during a few hours, and then you're sitting in there, one is the loneliest number that you've ever seen.
Well, and I think, too, when you have it, I like doing it like an hour here and 2 hours here, and and you kind of try to mix up the times of day. Yeah. So we had it. I mean, during Holy Week, there were mornings, there were middays, there was weekends, there was weekdays, evenings. Yeah. But anyway, it was awesome. It was awesome.
That's a lot of confessions. That's a lot of clean souls.
I know.
A lot of saints.
I know.
Ooh,
amazing. So Divine Mercy Sunday is if you're older, you're saying to yourself, I don't remember that when I was a kid. And that is true because it's actually only been around since like the year 2000.
Yeah.
Unless you're from Poland. And then it's been around for
a
very long time.
What did St. Faustina started having the visions of Jesus in like the 30s, 31.
Yeah.
31.
Yeah. So give us a little rundown because I've never been to Poland.
You've never been really?
I've never been to Poland.
I've been 5 times.
See, that's 5 more times than me because I've never been there.
Really?
It's amazing.
No, I take that back. I've been 4 times.
That's 5 more times than me because I've never.
I can't remember. Yeah,
I've never been to Poland.
I originally went with Father Ray Goronsky, who was a Jesuit priest.
I've never been there. Not once. You've never taken me anywhere.
I've never been to a Final Four.
I invited you. How
many of those have you been to?
19.
Whoa, that's a lot more than 5.
Yeah, but those are like in San Antonio and Dallas. It's not Poland.
Okay, you want to go to Poland then?
I would love to go to Poland.
I'm going to go in 2 years with college students. I try to do it every
2 years. I have a funeral.
Oh, really? You got to wash your cat that day?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hair, I got a hair appointment.
A hair appointment? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got to go to the podiatrist for your toenails? Okay.
No, what? Okay, so Divine Mercy Sunday. Give us a little history. Where did it come from?
Little history.
Who is Saint Faustina?
Okay.
What's going on there?
Okay. So you get a couple of things you got to do is get the borders. Poland doesn't exist. Because of World War, the end of World War I, the Treaty of Versailles, Poland comes back together. It's off the map for over 200 years, so it's just disappeared from the continent and from every map. So that's kind of the background, some of this too. And then in like early 1930, I think is when she's a novice, Sister Faustina starts having these visions of the fires of God's love, and she even brings them to her sisters, her superior, and starts letting them know. And even her spiritual director, when she's in, because Vilnius, which is in Lithuania, and Poland are very similar. They share close borders and close ties. And they were once under the same king, the king of Vilnius. And so she starts having, that's why there's 2 images, the Vilnius image and the Krakow image. And so she starts having these visions, and Jesus says, hey, Sister Faustina, I want you to make an image of my divine mercy. And I want you to just do it
this
just
is
like
Jesus talking.
Yeah, Jesus is visiting her like
to her.
Yeah. There's a story that goes something like this. That Jesus comes into a room and begins to talk to her and says, I want this image done, and I want these rays of mercy coming out. And she's not an artist, so she's got to figure this out. So she contracts with an artist and begins to have him paint.
Like a police sketch.
Like a police sketch artist?
His nose? Okay, now describe his nose.
Describe his nose.
Does he have a high forehead?
Okay, so internet doesn't exist at this time, right? So there's not a lot of...
Why bother?
I know. You can't get a lot of, stuff via the internet. Well, okay, just a little fast forward to 2000. They're transporting the image of Divine Mercy and the image of the Shroud of Turin. And the image of Divine Mercy and the image of the Shroud of Turin, 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 from Massachusetts, Shrine of Divine Mercy in Massachusetts, to another parish to give a talk. And they put the two images together, and that's when they find out that the Shroud of Turin image, the face, and the face of the image of Divine Mercy have the same dimensions.
What?
Same nose, eye sockets, and jawline. Yeah. The guy who did the original image had never seen the image of the Shroud of Turin. So then she gets moved to Krakow to this St. Joseph.
Back to the 30s.
Okay, back to the 30s. She gets moved to the convent in Krakow, Poland, St. Joseph Convent, which is really cool because there's this young man that walks by there almost daily. His name is Karol Wojtyła, and
I've heard of him.
Yeah, so he makes his little walking route.
That's Pope John Paul II.
Oh, is that his name?
For all of you Catholic theological novices out there.
Yeah.
Before he became John Paul II, he was Karol Wojtyła.
Yeah, so they lived in, his dad and him lived in Krakow in the 30s. So
I'm looking at pictures right now of the Shroud of Turin and the Divine Mercy image, and they match. That is crazy.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Vinny Flynn showed me that in maybe 2002, 2003.
Dang.
When I was hanging
keep going.
Okay,
Sorry.
So she gives this message in 1938, October of 1938. Let us immerse ourselves in God's mercy. Let us immerse ourselves in God's mercy because a great war is about to come upon us. And so she dies with that last message. She's kind of this prophetess of Poland. And a year later, September 1st, 1939, what happens, Father Brian O'Brien?
World War II.
World War II begins. And so, boom, the bombardment of the Nazis roll into Poland, and there's this great upheaval and terror on every side.
No mercy.
Yeah, that's where at one point in time, there was a newspaper article in German that said the Polish concentration camps. And the Poles were like, no. These are the Nazi concentration camps in Poland. So then there begins this attempt to exterminate all these people in Poland. And Poland's divided. There's wars going on in its borders. But there's also this message of divine mercy going on, circling throughout the country. And there's processions of the image of divine mercy from St. Joseph Convent in Krakow. And all along, there's this young man, Karol Wojtyła, who stops at this shrine and prays on his way to the rock quarry where he worked during World War II, while he was also a college student and kind of a hidden seminarian as well. And so this is the culture that the message of divine mercy is coming out of. Greatest evil in the 20th century. You could say Stalin was probably great evil too. Abortion, Stalin, Hitler. These are the greatest evils of our time, and this is where the message of divine mercy is coming out of. Now, the message of divine mercy isn't saying, hey, hate your enemy and love yourself.
No.
No? Is that?
No, it's not.
The message of divine mercy is saying, immerse all of these people, the entire world, in the fountain of my mercy, the ocean of my mercy. Even the most evil people. Like the worst people you can think of, immerse them in my mercy.
Yeah, and I think this is where divine mercy, because somebody could say it's Polish. I'm not Polish. Some random sister had this, Saint Faustina. I've never heard of her. You could sort of push it off.
Yeah.
But then when it gets down to your own life, to be able to say, okay, I have screwed up in my life.
Yeah.
I have messed up. What I want to be, we actually had this discussion this week at the we're doing this adult confirmation class at St. Francis Xavier, and we were talking about why does the resurrection matter, and why does Jesus matter at all? That was kind of and part of the discussion was would you want to be judged, or would you want to even be known by your worst action?
Whoa.
And, and the whole table's just oh my gosh, no, and we didn't go into detail of our worst thing ever, but, no. And so mercy is required. I mean, if there's no mercy, what are we doing here? I mean, wouldn't you just, on your worst day, that would be it. I mean, your whole life would be defined by
that event.
And so mercy is just so necessary from God to us, but then also from us to each other. Countries that have fought and now show mercy to each other. Individuals who used to hate each other. So anyway, I love, that it has this sort of, every person in every culture ever has messed up.
Yeah.
And required mercy on some level.
Yeah.
So we all need it. It has a universal significance.
Yeah, it does that. Yeah, to every place, every time, every continent. And this the image of divine mercy is the image of the resurrection. So it's joyfully done.
Google divine mercy image, and you'll see what we're talking about. So it's Jesus, and he's there, and he kind of has his hand up like he's about to bless, like almost like a priest does at the end of Mass. And then he has these two rays. Tell us about that. He's got these rays coming out of his heart.
Yeah, the rays of light, one of water and one of blood. One of baptism and one of the Eucharist, that these two great gifts of God's mercy and healing and forgiveness, these rays of light coming out of Vinnie Flynn told me, I was doing a retreat with him a couple of years ago, and he says, it is, if you were to zoom in on that spot, you would see the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Wow. So people who are like, oh, I don't know anything about the image of divine mercy, but you know about the Sacred Heart of Jesus because it's been around since the 1800s.
It's been around a long time.
What's her name? Saint Jose Maria Script? No, it's not. Wow. Did I just say she and then Saint Jose Maria?
Where are you?
Saint Margaret Mary Alacoque.
Yeah.
Is the message of the Sacred Heart of Jesus.
Okay, help me out. So the water, I think everybody gets like water, like baptism. With baptism comes forgiveness of sins.
Yeah.
If you're a baby being baptized, your original sin is forgiven. If you're 100 years old and you're baptized, all your sins are forgiven. What does the Eucharist have to do with mercy?
Okay, so the prayer from the Chaplet of Divine Mercy about that, which is also called the repentant prayer.
Can I back up? And,
yeah.
And can you tell us what is the Chaplet of Divine Mercy?
Oh, no. This is nonstop. I've lost track of where I'm going.
No, we're good.
Okay. Keep me on track. Keep me on track, O'Brien, because we'll go off on bunny trail.
Because we got a wide variety of listeners.
So it's the chaplet, and then there's the novena. And so the chaplet each day is the Our Father, the Hail Mary, the Creed, and then basically prayed on the rosary.
Using a rosary.
Yeah. So the first bead is, Eternal Father, I offer unto you the body and blood, soul and divinity of your dearly beloved Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, for the remission of my sins into life everlasting. And then the prayers are, for the sake of his sorrowful passion, have mercy on us and on the whole world. So it's calling down God's mercy upon the world, broken, divided by sin, to pour his blood. And that's what that other ray is, that we still have access to the blood of Christ.
Okay.
It's not like, the blood of Christ is one and done. Like, okay, it was Good Friday and that's the end of it. No, the blood of Christ still is this ocean of mercy for us. Oh, blood and water. And then the prayer of the, what's called what's the word? I just said it.
Chaplet, novena?
No, the other one.
Faustina?
No.
Jose Maria Escriva?
No, definitely
Poland?
not that. No. O blood and water which gush forth from the heart of Jesus as a font of mercy for us, I trust in you. Nice. Is the third of those really
you'll
awesome.
Often see that on the image. It'll be the image of Jesus, the rays coming out, and on the bottom it will say,
I trust in you.
Jesus,
I
trust in you.
So those are the four kind of things that are commonly known about the chaplet of the chaplet of divine mercy that's prayed for the world, for its healing. O blood and water which gush forth from the heart of Jesus as a font of mercy. A font is something like that overflows. So we're praying for God's mercy to overflow on the entire world and upon each of us. Also, you can drink out of a font.
Yeah.
And so
I like that.
We're called to consume his mercy. And that's the great beauty of this message, that God is, as John Paul II his encyclical said, God is divus et misericordiae, he's rich in mercy.
Yeah.
And why? And I think you nailed it. Like, why do we need mercy? Well,
Oh my gosh, who doesn't?
Because we pack up all these sins and evil against each other.
Anyone who it's what is it? 1 John. He who says he has no sin is a liar. I mean, we've all got it, and so that God is rich in mercy, like gets me out of bed in the morning.
Whoa.
I mean, if there's no mercy, if it's just every man for himself,
we're jobless.
Then why don't we just all kill each other? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But mercy, when mercy enters in, and Pope Francis has made this point of emphasis too, like when mercy enters in, like hearts change. Think about a time when you've really messed up. You've really hurt somebody with your words. Maybe you hit them, maybe, and then mercy is granted. You ask for forgiveness, and the person says, like, I forgive you and I love you. Like, it changes hearts.
Yeah,
it changes hearts. We see it all the time in the confessional. We're talking about, we had 20 hours of confessions during Holy Week. Hearts changed.
Yeah.
People coming back
Mine
to God
too.
Who had thought that they were set apart, that they were banished, that they couldn't be friends with God because of their sin. And to see that sin taken away is unbelievable.
Yeah. Do you know one of my favorite stories about divine mercy? I'd share this with you. It's probably my favorite. So there's this guy who's a young thug, goes through a couple wars, ends up in World War I, gets out of World War I, gets involved with this new party, and becomes a Nazi. His name is Rudolph Hess. And Rudolph Hess is just a rising star in the Nazi world. And when they decide to come up with the final solution to exterminate Jews, he comes up with a plan. And he finds this place, Auschwitz-Birkenau, which are two military camps that are run by Poles. And so at Auschwitz-Birkenau, he decides that's where they're going to start exterminating Jews from all over Europe. So they get, it's Hungarians, Swedes, anybody from any part of Europe where there's Jews, they start importing them in. And so they bring them in on trains and trains and trains. And I've taken, every time I go, I take students to Auschwitz-Birkenau. And I walk them through the entire complex, give them a prayerful visit to this place, and even walk them through the gas chambers to allow them to see Rudolph Hess's house. He lived right on the compound. Oh my! Yeah, there was actually a young priest there named Father Maximilian Kolbe, who everybody knows who that guy is. So Maximilian Kolbe would have heard about the message of divine mercy because this is at the end of the war in 1945. So Rudolph Hess gets found. Some British soldiers, his wife rats him out and says, because they're going to kill his son. His wife says, "Yeah, that my husband, World War II ends. He escapes and goes and hides and is working as a gardener." And they find him, the British soldiers do, and beat the snot out of him. Oh. And then they pass him off to the Nuremberg trials. And those guys beat the snot out of him too, and are just brutally ruthless with him. So he's tried, he's convicted.
And you would think, well, good.
Yeah.
He was
good riddance.
He was brutally ruthless with millions of people's lives.
Yeah.
He deserves everything he gets.
Yeah, but I think he at Nuremberg he came up with a number of 2.5 million people they exterminated. And he said even Auschwitz had a max capacity. We couldn't kill any more people than that. So he gets sent to Poland, where he's going to be hung at the gallows. I've taken students there and showed them. It's right next to the gas chambers. And on his way there, he actually does some writing. And he writes this down. You ready? "My conscience compels me to make the following declaration. In the solitude of my prison cell, I have come to the bitter recognition that I have sinned gravely against humanity. As Commandant of Auschwitz, I was responsible for carrying out part of the cruel plans of the Third Reich for human destruction. In so doing, I have inflicted terrible wounds on humanity. May the Lord God forgive me one day that I have done." And I ask the Polish people for forgiveness. And then he goes on to say this. You ready? He goes, in Polish prisons, I have experienced for the first time what human kindness is. Despite all that happened, I have experienced humane treatment, which I could never have expected and which has deeply shamed me. May the facts which are now coming out about the horrible crimes against humanity make the repetition of such cruel acts impossible for all times. Okay, so that happens. Now there's a story.
So he's on his way to die.
He's on his way to be killed at Auschwitz. So there's a story from World Youth Day a couple of years ago, and it says Rudolph Hess hears the bells ringing, ding, 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 in a local church. He's imprisoned in Krakow. He hears the bells ringing. He asks for a priest who speaks German. They can't find one. They can't find one. They can't find one. He's having memories of being an altar boy in Germany. He asks for a priest. They can't find one that speaks German. Finally, they find one, and he is a local Jesuit priest. He shows up at the prison in Krakow. And he goes to meet Rudolph Hess, and he opens the cell door, and he realizes who's standing before him, that the last time these two men saw each other was at Auschwitz. And this priest, Father Wenceslavs, went to Auschwitz to get some Jesuits back, and Hess said to him, if I ever see you again, I'll have you killed. So now they're staring at each other, and he closes the prison door. They begin to talk. The priest leaves, and he goes back to St. Joseph's Convent, which is where the message of divine mercy is being promulgated. And he gets Holy Communion, and he takes it back to Rudolph Hess. His nephew goes along with him. That's who reports this whole story. It actually happened on World Youth Day in Poland.
So he went to confession?
So the nephew says, my uncle obviously heard the confession of Rudolph Hess, or he would have never given him the Holy Eucharist.
But the priest can't talk about it.
Yeah, the priest can't talk about it. So Rudolph Hess goes to die at Auschwitz, but he goes to die as like this weeping man who is asking for forgiveness, who is asking for God's mercy. And he ends literally on his last day. He says, may God have mercy on me for what I have done to them. Wow. And that is one of the, I don't know what you call it, the first beautiful gifts of divine mercy. And most people don't know that story. And if you go to Auschwitz, so I take students to Auschwitz and I show them the terrible tragedies, and then I show them where Rudolph Hess was executed. And then that afternoon I take them to St. Joseph Convent and show them the image of a divine mercy, and then finish the story.
The real one. I mean,
the real one. And then finish the story, and we have Mass together. I celebrate the English Mass usually there. And let the people know this is where we just came from.
So, in our last few moments here, if forgiveness and mercy is possible for a Nazi, then it might just be possible for you.
Yeah. And you can pray the Chaplet of Divine Mercy. You know, Leroy Smith, Coach John Smith's dad, that was his thing. He picked it up in April of 2000 when John Paul II said, pray it. He's been praying it for 18 years.
And just recently
died. And his family was surrounded him. He didn't pray. I mean, he probably prayed it for the entire world, because that's who it's for. It's for the whole world. Have mercy on us and on the whole world. So when you pray the Chaplet of Divine Mercy, you could just I don't know, as my spiritual director tells me, he says, just pull the bow back and let the mercy fly. Pray it for anybody. Saturate the world in God's mercy. Drown it in the ocean of mercy.
For yourself, for your family, and for people you've never met. That's wonderful. So this Sunday is Divine Mercy Sunday. It's second Sunday of Easter. We're still in the Easter season, and we'll be for 50 days.
Go to confession. Go to Divine Mercy Sunday liturgies.
Pray the Chaplet of Divine Mercy. We're going to have a holy hour Sunday afternoon.
Us too.
2:00. We're very excited about it. So anyway, Divine Mercy Sunday. We hope that story inspires you to seek mercy and be merciful. We are the Pastors of Pain, and we'll see you next week. God bless you.
God bless you.